Hi, I'm Darren Coffey with the Berkeley Group, a consulting firm with local government experts dedicated to helping localities. Thanks for joining us in our third part of our Change in Local Government series. In this segment, it's all about economic development. The flip side to effective budgeting is how to grow the pie and increase your revenues from a diversity of sources. The key is economic development. That being said, economic development does have a cost to localities, so identifying appropriate ways to responsibly grow the local economy is critical. One size does not fit all, but economic development in some form or fashion is critical for sustaining localities. So a number of economic development strategies or tools can be utilized either individually or in combination. We're going to discuss 6: planning, grants, branding, marketing, recruitment, and incentives. Most communities do some of the above, and few of them do all. Even fewer do them all well. It takes time, expertise, and resources. So what does planning have to do with economic development? Everything. First, what does economic development mean for your community? What are your key objectives? How will you measure your progress and determine success? Every locality should have an economic development strategic plan that defines the needs, establishes metrics and how to apply them, sets objectives, and begins to tell the community's story. Identifying all available funding sources is another key to successful economic development. There are a variety of grants that are available. In transportation, you have economic access, rail safety improvement, safe routes to schools, enhancement, revenue sharing, and others. For environmental, you have brownfields, stormwater, clean water, community development, traditionally CDBG, and tourism. In recreation, land and water conservation, and recreational access. There's a number of grants that are available, and it's all about leveraging your limited resources as well as possible. Any program that gives or lends money for public infrastructure or services should be explored. Grants have become increasingly competitive, but identifying your needs, matching funding sources to those needs, and successfully telling your story is the key to successful application. So it's probably fair to say that most communities have not identified their brand. Successful, sustainable communities are easily identified by theirs. Branding is important because your brand identifies who you are, which in turn dictates what your priorities will be. Does your brand target heritage or recreational tourism? Does it target large employers, industry, niche markets? The nature of your brand will dictate your infrastructure needs. So how can you market without a brand? Well, most communities do. It's more effective with the brand, but whether you have a brand or not, getting the word out through your Economic Development Commission or your Economic Development Authority or a dedicated staff member is critical to attracting interest in your locality. Target specific business types that fit your community's profile. Follow your strategic plan. In addition to marketing towards certain business types, identifying specific companies to open a dialogue with is necessary. Sometimes the fish will just jump into your boat, but usually you need to go fishing. You should know what you're fishing for based on your strategic plan and how to best pitch your community's assets. Talking with a national chain when you meet none of their metrics is a waste of time. Identify potential wins and start there. Financial incentive packages are one of the most overrated tools used by states and communities. The mentality of what we bring to the table, what is in it for me, is still pervasive with industries and companies. If you use incentives, make sure that you understand what the company is bringing to the community in terms of both benefits and costs. Communicate your position clearly and contractually document identified milestones. Place any funds in escrow to be paid upon performance only. So to summarize our economic development segment, which is part 3 of our series, we've gone over just a few tools that can be used for a successful economic development program. The planning component is the most difficult yet important tool that is also generally lacking in many jurisdictions. The door is wide open and the water is fine, come on in is not an effective brand, but neither is we don't want anything to change. Somewhere in the middle is the sweet spot for every community to be able to move forward and thrive. Telling your story, knowing who you are and what you want as a community is necessary in order to have an economically, environmentally, and socially healthy community. Thank you for joining us for our economic development segment, which is the third part in our Change in Local Government series. How can we help you navigate these changing times? Please feel free to contact either Drew or myself at your convenience at 540-560-2202 or look us up online at www.theberkeleygroupllc.com. Thank you and have a great day.